talk of Sioux Falls. 1140 KSOO.
4:33 here on the Talk of Sioux Falls, 1140 KSOO, as we continue with the last half hour of the Patrick Lalley Show today before we head into the beautiful weekend, Jazz Fest, all that. Hope you're having a great time out there. Right now, though, we're going to talk to Amy Elliot. She is Senior Director of the Center for Health Outcomes and Population Research for Sanford Research. Amy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're here because you do some fascinating work. But first of all, we should probably get to the news, the development of the day, and that is you have been named recently as co-chair of the Biospecimens Working Group, which is part of the Environmental Influences on Child Health Outcomes, or ECHO. Amy, what is that?
That's the same question my parents asked me.
I bet.
So ECHO is a large research project and program that was started by the National Institute of Health just this last fall. And they nominated various people for different leadership roles, and I was nominated to help lead the Biospecimens Committee for all of the different sites across the United States. So there's 84 sites in every pocket of the United States, as well that work through 35 different grantees. So it's a little bit herding cats, but it's really exciting to get nominated at that national level.
So you were involved in this research before, and now you've just sort of elevated to this leadership role, and with all these places, everybody's gathering biospecimens. What are biospecimens? I'm almost afraid to ask, but what does that mean, Amy?
Right. Really, it's any biological sample, so anything that's coming from the body. Okay, so it can be fluids. It can be even things like hair, fingernails, poop and urine. It's in that list too.
It's okay. You can say poop on the radio.
Okay, I'll keep it on that one.
But not much worse.
Okay, got it. As well as things that may be a product of the delivery when a baby's born, like placenta or meconium, which is the baby's first stool, and cord blood. Those types of things.
So what are you hoping to do? So you gather, there's a ton of biological information there, DNA information and all this different stuff. What are you looking for when you're gathering this stuff?
One of the cool things about ECHO is it's not just focused on the biospecimens. Obviously, my role will be helping to organize all of that. But it's also combined with a whole lot of information that we'll gather directly from families. And that's going to be combined to look at 4 different main outcomes that ECHO's interested in and trying to figure out what can be done to help prevent, why these things may happen, and what puts kids at risk. And those outcomes are asthma, childhood obesity, neurodevelopmental issues, and that can include autism and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, as well as the effects of prematurity. And so everyone who is selected to be part of this is an expert in one of those areas, and we'll be bringing that to bear. So we'll be able to bring research right here to the Dakotas with national experts in each of those different topic areas.
So you're really focusing on the other part of what you are doing for Sanford is population. So you're linking these environmental factors to populations and trying to find out why kids have health problems. I'm putting that, maybe oversimplifying it?
No, that's actually exactly right. And we look at it by urban versus rural, and also by race. And in this part of the country, we have some of the worst health disparities in the country, and our American Indian population in particular. And we've been very fortunate and have partnered with tribes for the last decade and a half on a whole variety of different research topics. And this really kind of just allows us to extend it to the next stage and really step up on that national platform.
So as I think about it, when you're thinking about asthma, air quality, there's a natural connection there. What other sort of connections between environmental factors and health conditions would we not think about? What sort of things are you talking about?
So environmental factors, if you think about it, is things that are in the air, things that are in the ground, things that we eat, but also exposures we have, for example, during pregnancy. So it could be smoking exposures, prenatal alcohol, nutrition, And also in this part of the country, looking at things, looking at pesticides, other types of exposures and the range it has on outcomes. How it's all related, well, that's what we're hoping to find out.
Right. And so, because ultimately what you're talking about is trying to keep kids healthier.
Exactly.
Because that's where chronic conditions start. All these problems that we have with our bodies when we get older, a lot of it starts when we're young or even before we're born.
Right. And we really feel if you can identify things early, at a very early stage, then you can kind of change that whole, we call it trajectory of health, the direction that people's health is going, so that by the time they get older, that they're in better health than they would have been if there hadn't been changes early on in life.
Also, it's much cheaper, if you
well,
to use a bad term. But
there is a huge economic effect of that. Preventing a lifelong health problem or something that can lead to numerous other problems is definitely cost effective compared to the cost that society as a whole can bear from someone being unable to work or having really high healthcare bills as well.
Even something that we consider to be relatively not that serious among lay people, like asthma.
Mm-hmm.
That can cost you money over the course of your life, make you less productive over the course of your life, and change your life.
And asthma has a whole range of severity, where some may not be so severe, but there are some cases that are life-threatening.
Oh, absolutely. We're here with Dr. Amy Elliot, who is a Senior Director for Center for Health Outcomes and Population Research at Sanford Research. Now, there is a big NIH grant that helps pay for a lot of this stuff, and that was $157 million in 2016 as part of the 7-year ECHO initiative. Sanford doesn't get all that.
Not all of that, no.
How does that? Where does all that money go?
Right. So each of those went to those 35 grantees I was talking about before. We got about a $5 million award for this, which was a pretty fair percentage when you look at the total. Right.
And with spread out all over all those people, you can have a lot of research power come out of that money.
Exactly. We're hoping to enroll 50,000 mom babies to be part of this study, and we're recontacting folks who have participated in previous studies with us to help be part of this.
That's cool. We are going to take a very short break here, and we're going to come back with Amy Elliott, who is with Sanford Research, and talk about some more effects of environment and children's health and some really cool stuff that you can tell from their teeth, which I think is fascinating. And we're going to learn more about Amy because she's right from Sioux Falls. She is a Sioux Falls product. So all that's coming up next on the Patrick Lalley Show on 1140 KSOO.
It's like